97 leads, $41 each in Sydney, the most competitive market in Australia. This client that we work with recently is a landscaping business based in Sydney that specializes in retaining walls. This owner came to us because his leads were inconsistent. Some weeks the phone was ringing, other weeks it was dead quiet. He'd tried running ads before with just generic setups, and the quality was really, really low. The decision-making process of any customer in marketing and advertising is really important. If you put everyone in the same campaign, the same budget and the same ads, you're serving the wrong message to half of your audience or even a higher percentage. And you're the one that's paying the price for both of those mistakes. Welcome to Marketing for Tradies, the podcast where we help trades and service-based businesses with straight up marketing advice to get more leads and win more jobs. I'm your host Shannon, and my agency has helped over 100 businesses go from inconsistent work and relying on word of mouth to getting a steady flow of jobs coming in every single week. In this podcast, I'm walking you through simple, practical strategies that actually help you grow your business without the guesswork. So let's get into it. 97 leads, $41 each in Sydney, the most competitive market in Australia. This was a retaining wall business with a modest budget going up against companies spending 5 to 10 grand a month on Google Ads. They didn't win by outspending the competition, they won by outstructuring them. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you the exact campaign structure we built, including 5 Google Ads campaigns and a meta retargeting setup that turned a modest budget into a consistent pipeline of qualified leads and over 94K in closed jobs within 60 days. And the best part, the cheapest leads in the whole system cost under $7 each. So this client that we work with recently is a landscaping business based in Sydney that specializes in retaining walls, concrete sleeper walls, wall repairs, new installations. Quality work, great reviews, the kind of business that does a fantastic job once they get in front of the right customer. But the problem, just like a lot of tradies, is that getting in front of the right customer, especially in a place like Sydney, is very expensive and difficult because you're competing against every other landscaper, every builder, every handyman running ads for the same service. The big operators are spending serious money on Google every single month. And this owner came to us because his leads were inconsistent. Some weeks the phone was ringing, other weeks it was dead quiet. He'd tried running ads before with just generic setups, but the cost per lead was through the roof and the quality was really, really low. So this is the single most common mistake I see trades businesses make with any marketing campaigns. And it's not their fault, it's how most people set things up. But one campaign, everything thrown in together and hoping for the best. So the problem with this approach is that it makes Google's job almost impossible. And when Google can't do its job properly, you pay for it. Here's what most tradies do and what most agencies do for them. They create one campaign because it's so easy to do. They throw every keyword under the sun into it. So for this example, they might have retaining walls, retaining wall repairs, retaining wall builders, concrete sleeper retaining walls, all mixed up in one bucket together. And then they wonder why it's expensive and why the leads aren't good. The reason that is because when everything's lumped together, Google can't optimize properly or know which ad to show to which person, because a person searching for retaining wall repair has completely different intent to someone searching for concrete sleeper retaining walls. One has a broken wall that needs it fixed ASAP, and the other one is planning a new build and might actually be 1 to 3 months out of making a decision. And the decision-making process of any customer in marketing and advertising is really important. If you put everyone in the same campaign, the same budget and the same ads, you're serving the wrong message to half of your audience or even a higher percentage. And you're the one that's paying the price for both of those mistakes. So here's what we did instead for this business. We created 5 separate campaigns, each one targeting a different angle of the same service. Campaign 1 was concrete sleeper retaining walls. This is the hero campaign because it's what the client wanted most of. The targeting here was people who are actively searching for concrete sleeper walls. These are people who know exactly what they want. Campaign 2 is retaining wall installer. Broad intent, people searching for retaining wall builders near me, retaining wall costs, retaining wall builders. They need a wall built, but they haven't decided the material or the company yet. Campaign 3 was retaining wall repairs. completely different customer. Something's broken, it's urgent, they need someone now. These need to have different messaging and different ads because the landing page angle and the urgency of the content is very, very different. The fourth campaign is Retaining Walls Sydney, location specific searches. People typing Retaining Walls Sydney, they want someone local. So we lean into the local aspect of those campaigns. Now, the fifth and final campaign is the service by suburb. So hyper local, individual suburb targeting, really tight targeting for people searching in those specific areas. So these 5 campaigns, same business, same service, but each one speaks to a different customer with different intent at different stages of their buying journey. And that specificity, just as an example, is what makes the whole thing work. And this is where so many people go wrong with their ads because they're too generic and they just leave it up to the platform to serve the ads to everyone. Now, let me show you what this structure produced, and these are real numbers. Across all 5 Google campaigns from April 1st to May 31st, 2026, they generated 21 leads at an ad spend of $2,170. They closed 2 jobs, and revenue generated from those leads was $94,000, giving them a return on ad spend of 43 times. Now, this doesn't sound like big numbers in the amount of leads generated and jobs won, but because it's a high ticket service, you don't need tons of leads to get an incredible return. People always forget that it's not about how many leads and how many jobs are actually booked. It's actually how much revenue is generated off those jobs, because more often than not, many trades businesses would prefer to do a smaller number of simpler jobs than a large number of complex jobs at different locations, different clients, different customers, different equipment needed. So what matters, and especially in this example, is that the revenue generated was $94,000 in 60 days of their ads going live. So you can see the power of structure, and when you can see what's working, you can act on it and you're in control. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. On top of Google and on top of these metrics, we also ran a meta retargeting, so Facebook and Instagram ads targeting for specific audiences. Everyone who engaged with the business's Facebook page, everyone who engaged with their Instagram, all website visitors, and this is the one most people missed, anyone who visited the landing page in the last 60 days. These are people who already know the business exists. They've already clicked, visited, browsed. They just haven't pulled the trigger yet. The retargeting campaigns generated a number of additional leads on top of this, with a cost per lead in some cases that was around $7. It was so cheap, the cost per lead, even though the quality was so high, because in this case, you're not paying Meta to find new people. You're paying them to remind warm people that you exist. And warm people convert at a fraction of the cost of cold traffic, and 9 times out of 10 are way better quality. And this is the channel that often gets ignored. People spend all their money on Google trying to find new customers, and then they forget about the follow-up, not just in how they're handling leads, but how they're showing up for those people who did visit their site or their landing page or their social media, showed some interest but haven't inquired yet. Because those people are interested, they just got distracted, but they always end up on social media. So combined Google and Meta together, this business generated $94,000 in new revenue and jobs booked from just a $2,170 ad spend in one of Australia's most competitive markets. And the point again that I'll mention is that you don't need to close every single deal in order to make good money, and you also don't need to generate hundreds of leads in order to get a good number of jobs booked in and revenue generated for your business as well. So if you're running one big Google Ads campaign and wondering why it's so expensive, or if you're not running retargeting at all, this is exactly what we fix for trades businesses. So if you're interested and think that you need this for your business, click on the links in the show notes and book a call with me and my team so we can get your ads structured the right way. Now, 4 things I want you to take away from this episode is this. The first is that you need to stop running one generic campaign in your ad accounts. Split your services, split your intent types, and split your campaigns based on locations. It costs the same budget, but it performs way, way better because Google can optimize each one independently, and you can properly assess what is and isn't working and have much more control over the results that you're getting. Number 2 is retargeting is the cheapest lead source, and you're probably leaving a lot of leads, conversions, and money on the table right now if you don't have a retargeting campaign set up. If you're spending money on Google but not retargeting on Meta, you're missing out on the easiest leads that are possible for your business to generate right now. Number 3 is structure beats budget. This business wasn't outspending the big operators in Sydney, they were outstructuring them. 5 targeted campaigns with specific messaging will always outperform one generic campaign with a bigger budget. And the last point is your cost per lead only matters in context. Cost per lead can sound high, but when a single job is worth thousands of dollars and the quality of your leads is higher, having a strategy that's getting you consistent quality leads that are gonna turn into jobs is one of the best investments that you'll make. So don't go into any marketing activities targeting a specific cost per lead, because that can be really easy to attain, but the quality may not be there, in which case you're gonna throw all your money down the drain on strategies that get you leads at a cheap price, but don't always convert into jobs, and then you're not going to get the return. So if you're a tradie in a competitive, tough market like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, or anywhere really where you are going against a lot of big players in your industry, the answer isn't always spending more on ads. It's actually having the right structure and spending smarter. So if you want us to build this kind of structure for your business, click the links in the show notes, book a call with me and my team, or you can learn more about what we do at eastbound.digital, or check us out on social media. You can also share this with a mate who's maybe running their own Google Ads campaigns right now, or running ads and not getting the results that they want. If they're wondering why it's not working, they can get in touch with us or watch this episode, and it might shine some light on how they can be doing things better. So I hope this episode was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Marketing for Tradies podcast. If you got something out of this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, or leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you're a service-based business owner who'd rather have someone handle your marketing for you, book a call with my team using the link below, and let's see how we can help.